Justin, thanks for meeting with me. If you want to just tell me a little bit about yourself and how you came to faith.
So my name is Justin Nalimu, and I'm part of the gospel reggae group Christopher, and I've been with the ministry for the last uh, 11, 12 years. And coming to Christ, that journey for me happened in 2007, actually at a youth camp in Hawaii. And I grew up in Hawaii. I actually grew up in church and around music. And I went to a camp and just realized that the gifts that I have, the gifts and talents of music that I have, should be used for the Lord. And so it inspired me to just give everything to God and say, "Here I am, Lord. I'm going to give my life to you, and I'm going to trust you with my life." And honestly, that's how my journey has been since 2007. And through all of that, I am able to be with Christ for full time, just trusting in the Lord through this whole process.
That's awesome. So how has God gifted you and how are you using those gifts?
Gifted me with the gift and talents of playing music. I grew up learning how to play the ukulele, which is like a little small four-stringed guitar from Hawaii. And I've also learned how to play the keyboard, which is like the piano. But with the keyboard, I learned how to do it all by ear. And I'm still constantly learning and knowing that these are gifts that God has given me. I'm doing my absolute best to just use it all into the Lord, if it's through global missions with Christ Rastafari or leading worship in local churches here in Los Angeles.
So Justin, tell me a little bit about Christafari and what you're doing, because probably a lot of the people watching this aren't going to know much about you and what you're
Christ,
doing.
okay, cool. Christ Fry has been around for 30 plus years, and it's a gospel reggae, not only a gospel reggae band out of Los Angeles, but it's also a gospel reggae ministry turned missions organization where we're not only going to go where people can afford to bring a band out, but we're going to go where people can't afford for one person to come out because we believe that the gospel needs to be said everywhere and anywhere that needs to hear it. So a lot of times when we do global missions, we will use the the finances that we raise here in America to go to places like Africa or Asia or South America and anywhere where the need is high.
Yeah. Um, you've been how many years in Christafari? You said 7 years?
No, about 11 years.
11 years, even not, yeah. So how have you seen over those 11 years, how have you seen God growing you in over that time and maybe in different ways that you didn't anticipate, or maybe originally when you started you didn't know that this was going to be a gift that you had?
You know, that's a great question because the thing that I've constantly learned and remembered throughout my journey here with the band is that one simple concept of trusting the Lord. Because it's easier said than done. It's easy to say, hey, trust God, He's gonna work it out. But when you're walking through some of the some of the hardest challenges in life, all you can do is trust and say, God, I'm gonna give you my family. I'm gonna give you my challenges. I'm gonna give you the things that's going through my head right now. And I'm just gonna give it to you and I'm gonna trust that you handle it. And God has helped me grow in so many different ways in my life throughout my time here. And I'm still learning and I'm still growing. And I've also picked up a few tasks along the way. So not only being a musician with a band or a producer, but I'm also a full-time tour manager with Christ Safari during the last year and a half.
Awesome. And do you have any encouragement or advice for the students here?
You know, My biggest word of encouragement and advice to any of the students here is to know that whatever you're walking through, God has a plan for your life. It doesn't matter if you're living the best life or if you come from a broken home. God still has a plan for your life. Each and every one of you, from the youngest student in that room to the oldest staff member or the oldest volunteer watching this video, God has a plan for your life, and He still has a plan for your life. Because I am a walking testimony. I've gone through so many challenges growing up with being bullied or being born with a visual impairment or coming out of a broken family. God has still used all of my challenges and my shortcomings to be in this position to be with Christ the Fry for 11 years and to finally come back here to New Jersey virtually to share my life experiences with you. And another point that I want to bring up is surround yourself with mentors. Surround yourself with godly men and women that can lift you up when you can't even stand anymore. Surround yourself with pastors, youth leaders, or small group leaders that will be there to even challenge you when you may be making mistakes or you may not be doing something right. That will be bold enough to say, "Hey, there's something going on in your life, and let's work on this together." Because that's been my two biggest things aside from trust in the Lord is knowing that God has a plan for my life. And God has given me so many mentors and pastors where I'm constantly talking to my mentors every week saying, "Hey, this is what's going on with my family. This is what's going on with my relationship life. Can you please pray for me or can you give me some insight?" So that's some of the biggest points that I can give you all today.
Thank you so much, Justin. And can I ask, how can we be praying for you?
You know, that's that's a that's a that's a really good question. And the best answer is please not only keep our entire ministry in prayer, but not only our ministry in prayer, but please keep our families in prayer. Because for me, something that's very important to me is my family, my young siblings, my nieces and my nephews, and even my mother. And it's a real it's a challenge going to where God has called me to go to 80 countries, 30 countries a year, while my family's still in Hawaii going through different life challenges. And just pray for our families, my family, and like my health, physical and my mental health. And that just God continues to have his hand over everything that I walk through.